Hello student. So now we will start with the section 3, that is the changing tradition. So in previous section 2 you have done we have done about the empires, different empires. Okay, there was empires like Macedonia, we have done Roman Empire, and then we have done the Arab Empire. Okay, now if we talk about the in the 9th century, the empires like Egyptian, Assyrian, Chinese, Mauryan, and even Mongol. Okay, the difference between the previous empire and these empires after 9th century were they were very big in size. All right, so they were continental and transcontinental in nature. So obviously, the continental means they spread over a large area. All right, through one continent to another. So this is the reason. Obviously, there is a chance of cultural exchange. There is a chance of language exchange. All right. So with this exchanging of ideas, exchanging of culture, tradition, okay, this led to a development of new ideas. All right. Now, if we talk about Europe, so in Europe from the period of 9th to 17th century, this period was a period of continuous development. Now, which type of development is there? In this period in Europe, there was a development in scientific knowledge. All right, there was a development in religious knowledge. The beliefs, the religion is changing. It is, their beliefs are changing. Next thing is the organization of government. Okay, there is a change of government in the structure of the government. Earlier the government, they were of different type. Now they have a different type of setup, different type of organization in the government. Now next thing is there is a change of law. That means the law is also developing, and there is a creation of parliament, civil service. Okay, there is a industries are also set up. All right, and there is a improvement in agriculture also. All right. Now if we talk about Europe in the 9th century, there was a commercial and urban center. That means urban center got developed. These new names of the urban center were like London, Rome, Siena, Alex. Okay, these are the names of the commercial and urban centers. All right. Now next thing very important is the setup of feudalism. Now we will going to talk about feudalism in your theme 6. All right, this is just an introduction about the section 3, changing tradition. All right, now we will study about feudalism. Okay, that which type of groups are there in the feudalism, okay, which type of people are involved in this feudalism. All right, and how this feudalism came up, we will talk about in the theme 6. All right, now next, obviously there was a commercial towns were set up. All right, and why these commercial towns were set up? Because of development in the trade. So trade was developing. All right, if we talk about Venice and Genoa, they were the most important commercial center. All right, because these people of the Venice and Genoa, they were having a trade with Muslim states. They were having a trade with other people all around the world. All right. Now next, if we talk about here around the 14th century, what happened? There was the people, they were having a new ideas about life. Okay, now the previous ideas, they are ignoring these previous ideas. Now they are more and more they are thinking about the personal life. Okay, about human values. These type of ideas that got developed during the 14th century. All right. Now here the painters, sculptures, writers, they got developed in the 14th century. All right, and now the urge of discovering the whole world got developed in Europe. That is why these Europeans, they started voyages to find new land. Okay, so the first two countries who start this was Spain and Portugal. These two countries, the kings of these two countries, they give their sailors the money, all the sport they wanted, and they told them to find new land. Okay, to find new world. So this is the reason there was new discoveries, discovered land was there, like Columbus, he discovered America. Actually, he wanted to come to India because that time India was very famous for spices. Everybody wanted to come to India because of spices. This Columbus also, he set his voyage to find a new route to India. But in 1492, he reached the West Indies island, that is Caribbean island. Okay, after that he discovered America. All right. Now next thing you have done is the Portugal. This man, he was called as Vasco da Gama. So he was able to successfully to find he was able to find new sea route to India. All right. He went from Europe towards the Cape of Good Hope, that is in South Africa. That point is called as Cape of Good Hope, and from that it is in South Africa. All right, and from there he went to Calicut, and today it is called as Kozhikode. In 1498 he was able to discovered India. All right. So obviously, because of this new discoveries by new voyages, these people, European, they are Christian. So wherever they are going, they are spreading the Christianity. They are spreading their culture. They are spreading their language. All right. This is what is there in the introduction of the section 3. All right. So now we will start with the theme 6, that is 3 order. Now, in this theme 6, student, we are going to learn about social changes, economical changes, and political changes that occurred in the Western Europe between the 9th to 16th century. Okay. So 9th to 16th centuries. So we are going to talk about Western Europe. All right. We are going to learn about the socio-economic changes, political changes, and this traditional changes that is happening in Western Europe. Now, what happened after the fall of the Roman Empire? Many German tribal group, nomadic group, they started occupying the region of Italy, Spain, and France. All right. Now there was a absence of political unity. Political unity was not there, and there was a military conflict in this part of Europe. Now here what happened? Here the Roman Empire, that was earlier old Roman Empire, they were able to control the Roman area near the Rome because they were spreading Christianity. All right. Now next thing is we are going to talk about the 3 orders. All right. This is our topic name, the 3 orders. Actually, in this 3 order, we are going to learn about the society of Western Europe that was divided into 3 groups. Okay. So the first group was, or we can say first order was, they were Christian priests. Okay. Second order, they were land owning nobles. And the third order, they were peasants, farmer. So we are going to talk about the three orders, how they got developed, their connection with each other, okay, and their superiority and inferiority, all right, and how they are controlling the society and what they are doing, all right. So we are going to discuss in this chapter, all right. Now next thing is very important is our sources, that how we came to know about these three orders in the Europe, all right. So obviously we have a sources. So student, in the sources, first thing we have is we have a documents, okay. We have found documents. Then we have the details of land ownership, that who is holding which land, okay. And next we have prices, and then we have legal cases, okay. Next source of our information was the inscription of the churches. Inscription of churches. So from here also we get to know about this topic. And next we have, there's one scholar in France, his name was Marc Bloch. He studied and he wrote a book on feudalism, and his book was a great value, a great source of information for us. So Marc Bloch, he wrote Feudal Society of that time. He make research, okay. He make research and he studied about feudalism in Europe. But actually he was killed in the Second World War. He was killed by the Nazis, okay, this person, all right. So the next we will talk about feudalism, all right, and we will talk about the three orders, all right. Thank you.